if we had just taken Jake Paul's course, we just would never have to work another day in our life, right?
Well, I would like some financial freedom. Yeah. Can you get me some of that?
Can you get me? All you have to do is pay $20 a month.
Freedom.
How much is he charging for
financial
that?
Freedom. It sounds like one of those scams. I can't even remember what it was called, but I'm pretty sure something that ended in financial freedom has previously been a scam.
I've known people who have like gotten into this too. Like there's all these books you can get about like how to retire by the time you're 35.
It's a whole movement, right? I think I saw a thread on it.
Freedom something movement. I don't know. I wouldn't say
Freedom
Jake Paul
40
is a
something.
good source of information to help you get
So you're going to take his
financial
class?
freedom. I saw there was a BuzzFeed reporter who did sign up for the class, and they had some anecdotes. Maybe we can link the article down below. I don't think we need to get into it, but yeah, she just said like it's just full of platitudes. Be your own boss, or like fire your boss and just go
Fire
for
your
it.
boss.
It's just he's basically a scam artist, right? He had a course called Edfluence a couple years ago. Drew Gooden has a good video on this, which was basically a scam that children would pay a monthly subscription to learn how to be a social media influencer. And then that just sort of, the website got taken down eventually. And basically, it was basically a scam.
Yeah.
Now, what, 2 years later?
But that's how he makes his money.
I guess so, right?
Scamming people into believing he's an idol.
And I guess there's sort of two ways to read this. Either he's just sort of dumb and he thinks he's actually trying to help kids and just going about it in a pretty
I don't think that's
exploitative way. I don't think so either. I think he knows what he's doing here.
Oh, he knows.
Like, this is what was frustrating about Shane Dawson did a documentary on Jake, and he let Jake sort of put out this narrative that Jake's just sort of a dumb kid who had a bad influence. His dad and older brother were a bad influence.
Jake's not a kid anymore. We
He's
keep
not a
like
kid.
treating him like he's some kid. He's not a kid.
Absolutely not. And like, Shane was asking him questions and Jake was playing very ignorant of the fact that he has a huge influence on the 10-year-olds watching him. But you could find other clips from Jake around the same time where he is selling the idea to brands and companies about how influential he is at getting kids to buy things. Yeah. So he knows exactly what he's doing.
Exactly.
Does he care about helping these kids experience financial freedom? I don't think so. I think he's just trying to line his own pockets.
Yep. And I mean, you can choose to listen to him if that's the kind of way you want to do business in your future. Seriously, like some people want to get in the business of...
Maybe it's just a pyramid scheme. You'll learn from Jake Paul and then you could start your own service that people would sign up for.
It's a Jake Paul MLM. He's at the top. Team 10 was an MLM the whole time. Didn't you know? So is it safe to assume that Jake Paul never really had any old jobs?
Did Jake Paul ever work?
Did he ever work any... like for a meaningful amount of time, work any
But maybe he's
jobs?
another example of someone who's sort of a victim of their success, you know? If you become a millionaire at 18 or whatever he was, and he had like investors and people behind him, like that wasn't some organic, I became a big creator thing. There were people behind him, right? So...
yeah, in some ways, like I know we like to criticize people like him for just selling this idea that anyone can be famous on YouTube. You just gotta work as hard as me, which we don't think is really true. But he also did get into this when he was 16, 17, something like that. So because he was so young, he never technically or had the opportunity to work traditional jobs that 16, 17-year-olds would work, like being the milk boy or working at the drugstore. So he didn't have that experience either. Maybe he would turn out to be a completely different person if Vine or whatever he was on first never took off.
Although I'm pretty sure he'd still be a bad person.
Well, how do you know that? We don't know.
I think we've seen enough from him to know he's just not a good guy.
It is possible
he could
that
change.
It's possible that going into this fame path is what kind of made him a bad, selfish person. Maybe he wouldn't have ended up that way had he not gone that direction so young.
What we've seen of his parents and especially his dad on the internet makes me think that there's a long pattern of why him and Logan are the way they are. So that is what it is. And you know what? He's in controversy so much. Like, even though that financial freedom thing was only, like a week ago he announced that, people almost like immediately glossed over that because the next day he's tweeting things about like people who have anxiety are just choosing to be anxious. So like if you have a scandal or you say something incredibly stupid every day, it's just a new cycle of the bad thing, and people forget like, oh wait, are there still a bunch of kids paying you $20 a month to learn how to not have to work for a boss? No, we're on to the next thing, he said, you know?
What a wild world of just trying to up your own scandals. Like I can't.
I don't know how.
I can't get what.